So, I just shot my lead acid battery introduction for my long overdue YouTube video that I've been trying to put together, and I wanted to do a little bit of a walk and talk of sorts. I came to a parking garage in the middle of town for a change of scenery. I don't usually do this because I don't like being around people, but I picked a parking garage that's relatively quiet, so shouldn't be too bad. I wanted to talk about something that happened to me recently. So, as you people know, if any of you watch my videos enough, you know that in order to give myself a sense of responsibility, I bought myself 2 goldfish. And I've been taking care of these goldfish for quite a while now. They grew a little bit, they don't have a lot of space to grow because I put them in a lemonade jug, which is fine. I don't want them getting huge anyway. But the other day, one just disappeared. It just gone. I don't have a clue, like, what happened to it. I searched around to see if somehow it squirmed through the hole I have the air filter in, but it didn't. There was no dead body in the bottom of the tank. It was there the day before, so there's no way the other fish could have ate them that quick, because I keep them pretty well fed. So I cleaned the tank. I searched all around the dresser, all over the place, to see if I could find a desiccated fish corpse, super glued to the towel or to the wall or something, where it somehow managed to squirm out, but it is just gone. And I've been watching a lot of, creepy videos lately. It's a way I've been passing the time in between doing other things like RuneScape and Minecraft and trying to do things in real life, and I can't find a way that it could have been, there's no way it could have got out. So I can't help but feel, now, let me make this very clear. I'm not superstitious. I'm not religious. I don't believe in that kind of stuff. I don't completely write off the possibility of there being an otherworldly plane or some spiritual presence. I don't completely write that stuff off, and I actually extremely enjoy the idea of it existing, but ultimately, I don't believe in fairy tales, so it just, it's kind of like, it's just weird to me that the fish couldn't have gone anywhere unless somebody did something to it. Now, the only people that should be in the house is me and my grandmother, and my grandmother swears she didn't go in my room, and she swears nobody was over. So, I don't know if she's insulting my intelligence, and either way, if somebody was there, what would they be doing in my room? And if it was her herself, what the heck would she do with one of the fish? Why wouldn't she, if she decided to go on one of her psycho rampages, why wouldn't she, destroy them both? Or do something worse? I don't know what could have transpired, but with this train of thought going, that, I definitely know, without a doubt, that something is wrong around here. Something's wrong with my life. Something's wrong with the things going on, and things that are unexplainable. And I pretty much, with my realistic train of thought, I believe it to be somebody playing mind games with me, and somebody in particular, or a group of people, I've somehow upset, and they've decided to, influence my life in a negative way for as long as they possibly can. And with this in my head for the last couple of years, I don't really try to develop relationships. I don't really try to go out and meet people or talk to people, because I'm afraid that whatever it is that has this influence over my life would cause them problems or cause me more problems. For instance, when I was out of town, I used to talk to quite a few rather attractive females, and we'd hit it off because I don't think I'm I don't think I'm particularly attractive, but I'm not ugly. So usually I can get in the front door with just my looks. So that sounds really pretentious, but no, I mean I usually don't have too much of a trouble, especially online, starting conversations with girls that I perceive to be out of my league. Now, if you haven't gathered by now the amount of videos that I put up, I don't do much with my life anymore. And I don't have the greatest self-respect. I don't hold myself too highly. I walk around like I'm some sort of gangster, I'm chest out, shoulders broad, kind of keep my head up and have a pretty stern, unemotional kind of look on my face most of the time. And it makes me almost kind of feel military-esque. Now, I've never been in the military, but despite the way I carry myself, I don't view myself too highly. I would say I have a pretty low self-esteem, and I mean, I guess it's always kind of been that way, but after years and years of being treated in certain ways, it wears away on what little bit of charisma and self-respect one has. So, it takes me a little bit, with these things in mind, with my self-image being tarnished, and the fear of causing myself more pain or causing somebody else pain, I don't usually talk to too many people. And I've been kind of checking out this here, in my opinion, insanely attractive girl at one of the stores I go to. And, after a couple of weeks of kind of just saying hi or whatever, I can't really say I held more than a 5-minute conversation with her over the period of multiple weeks, but if I see her, I always give her that glance of, wow. So, after this whole fish incident, I was like, you know what? Whatever horrible thing is happening in my life, it's not gonna stop. It's not gonna end. It's gonna... why would it? If it's been going on for this long, why would it just stop? So, I was like, I gotta try to do something with my life, and I can't get this girl out of my head. I'm gonna ask her out. Next time I see her, I'm gonna walk up to her and I'm gonna be like, hey, come do XYZ with me. And so I did. I went to the store a couple days ago, and I don't think she was working as she walked past me. It was real weird because, I went there with the intention of talking to her. And she works there, and I don't particularly try to bother somebody when they're working. But I had it in my head that, no matter what, I'm going to at least make my presence known. And I'm going to at least say, hey, I think you're attractive, come out with me. So I did, and I kind of did it a little bit. I ran it through my head a couple hundred times, and I was like, you know what, keep it simple, stupid. Age-old proverb right there. Don't go outside your comfort zone, don't go way over the top, just keep it simple. So she walked past me, and I took out my earbuds because I always listen to music when I'm in public, because I drown out the world. It keeps me from, experiencing my new emotion of anxiety. So I took out my earbuds, and I was like, hey, insert name a girl here. Do you want to go to the Chinese buffet with me? And she was like, right now? I'm like, well, I'm starving, so yeah. And she was like, I have something with a friend. Do I know you? And I'm like, no, not really. But and that was pretty much all it got to. And then she kind of just said, I have my friends waiting, and scurried off. So I was like, she didn't say no, but it hit me kind of hard because I'm not used to being rejected. I can tell you right now, like, I've had somewhere in the ballpark of 20 relationships. Some of them lengthy, some of them not. But very few of them I started. Like, a lot of them either somebody hooked me up, or the girl actually asked me out. And that's cool and all, but I don't do a lot of hunting, I guess you'd call it. I don't go out and particularly look for somebody too often. On occasion, I have, and I've been rejected once or twice before. But, I mean, this really wasn't a rejection, but I was so depressed. Like, I was, like, in my head, I was like, this girl's out of your league. She's gonna say no, and that's gonna be that. But it's worse, in a way, because now I don't know. Like, she didn't say no. She didn't say yes. And with the way I look at myself sometimes, I was just like, what's wrong with me? What did I... Besides the fact that probably I didn't approach it in the best way, and it was probably a little bit on the creepy side, because I was just like, hey, random stranger, let's go and gorge on a bunch of food. Like, you can watch me tear down 5 plates of sushi. But in retrospect, it was kind of... And I mean, this girl, she is, in my opinion, like I said, very attractive. So I'm sure, and where she works, I'm sure plenty of interesting people make passes at her. So, I didn't really want to, I don't want to be that guy, I don't want to be one of those guys that's like, oh, this guy did this, that, or the other thing. I want to be that guy that's like, oh, this guy asked me out, I'm seeing somebody, so we couldn't do it. But, that's better to me than being in limbo, because now I'm like, did I do something wrong? Did I do something right? Should I try again? Is she gonna feel like I'm stalking her if I do try again? So I came to the conclusion that, once again, as far out as it puts me in like an anxiety kind of feeling, that I'm gonna go for it again. I'm gonna ask her again. Maybe I'll see about getting a phone, because I don't own one, and drop her my number and see if she wants to actually do something sometime, and ask her for a definitive answer, like, no harm, no foul. If it's a hard pass, it's a hard pass, but I'd rather know, like, if there's any hope at all, then I'll keep chasing. But if there's no hope, then I won't waste either of our times. That's kind of how I feel about it. Now, I know this episode, this vlog, is a little bit all over the place, and from the start, this doesn't all, like, link together, but to me it does. Life's too short, and you find something you like, and the way people treat me in society is towards me in particular, I don't know if it's for other people, puts me in a state of mind that I'm either not good enough, or you don't meet people that way. And I'm like, how else do you meet people? Like, where I come from, it's like everybody's born with a partner. Everyone's born into a group. And it's just upsetting to me because, before I started getting this whole anxiety thing going on, I used to kind of like meeting strangers that way. And now it's like, oh, you gotta be careful meeting this person, you gotta be careful meeting that person, because, they could have ill intentions, and now it's the same as the lead acid battery thing, they mark on these warnings, and yeah, it could be volatile, but is it just to scare people? Is it just, Is it just a method of keeping people that ain't in the know, people that ain't, you know, in the scene anymore? Is a way to keep them from pursuing something of value? Because one of the things that scare me is that even if this girl says yes, and she seems nice, and she seems relative, like, she seems nice. Like, I don't know her, but to me, she's a catch, you know? So, the thing that bothers me is something that makes you a target for whatever's going on is having something of value. And to me, she's something of value. And I'm sure she's something of value to many other people. Even if she's a horrible person, she's still very attractive. So, you know, I'm sure I'm not the only one barking up that tree, so to speak. So it makes me more anxious and more worried that if this were to happen, is that going to put a target on her back? Is that going to put a target on my back? Like, I'm being stopped from getting a job. I'm being stopped from getting a vehicle. And I'm being stopped from leaving. I'm being stopped from doing this. I'm being stopped from doing that. And everyone's like, oh, it's a free country. You can do what you want. And I'm like, no, I really can't. Like, being here right now took work. I almost didn't want to get out of bed. I don't know. I guess it's just like one of those one-off walk and talks. Something to fill up some space in my YouTube page. My views have went down quite a bit. I guess I stopped playing Pokemon, so everyone's like, this guy sucks. I thought about getting back into the Pokemon Minecraft servers, but I don't know. I got kind of wrapped up in RuneScape now, and I kind of like it. I mean, it's a little grindy, but it's a nice change from placing blocks and crafting stuff. You know, it's a nice change for my downtime. And I've been watching a lot of vlog videos on horror stories in the background, so it kind of fits hand in hand. It's a lot easier to play a game like that and watch videos or listen to somebody talk, because it's just like it fills up that void. So like if I'm playing Minecraft, you know, I have to, you know, full screen, running around, you know, defending myself, trying to figure out what to do next, and I'm usually shooting videos while I'm doing it, so I can't really watch other videos while I'm shooting videos. So now that I'm playing this game, I can watch videos and play at the same time, because there's not enough content for me to be constantly shooting videos. Not, in my opinion, not without like an obscene amount of editing. So I don't. And plus, you know, it's like Minecraft. There's a million people doing videos on it, so it's hard to really be an individual. I don't know. I guess I'm gonna end this off here. I said my piece. I'll let you guys know if anything good or bad happens, I guess. I mean, I don't have high hopes. Like, knowing what I know, I don't have a lot of hopes towards positivity, but at the same time, I'm not giving up either. So yeah, that's that. Later on.